All right, so let's go quickly into it, gentlemen. Starting off with our football, Simba Bhora, Tondera Indiraya, Mkomana Batabasa, and go Buju go. That's what we see on their Facebook. I
And
don't even. It's crazy, but Simba Bhora have done the business, Brian, and now one game against Arno Movers, and they're in.
Definitely, they're not going to lose this title. They only need 1 point. But kudos to Simba Bhora. They've shown what investment does. When you invest into quality players, it will eventually pay off. And Chundra Indira has finally gotten the monkey off his back. He's finally ending a title.
All right, one of the other things, though, Sydney, is the fact that Simba Bhora have built this title challenge on the back of home form, which has been phenomenal for them. I think they've gone close to 15 games undefeated, whether it was a draw or a win on home turf.
Look, it's at your fortress, so you shouldn't be losing. So I think that's what they've mastered in this season, that is Simba Bhora. And we all talk about the players, but we also need to give credit to Tondera Indiraya. I mean, he has been fired by one other one was Dynamos, arguably the biggest club in our country, and the second was Ngezi Platinum. But now he's shown what he's made of. I mean, he's someone that has been in the fold, especially at the international level for our Zimbabwe Warriors, and now he's proving himself to be a top quality coach. And now with the German coming in to coach the national team, we should also include him because of what he's done with a small club, a minnow club like Simba Bhora. I mean, he's transformed, and he now is eyeing the Premier League title. So kudos to him.
Yeah, no, well done to him. Were Dynamos and Ngezi Platinum impatient, however, Brian?
I think they're a bit impatient, especially with Dynamos. You don't invest so much, but you expect miracles from Dirai. I like from Ngezi, the funding was there. The board did back him, but probably they thought the money they gave him, they wanted immediate results. So probably they were also impatient, but they eventually won the league when he left. So I would say Ngezi are partly vindicated because they won the league when he left. But with Dynamos, I just think they're impatient. And you know, coaching Dynamos is not easy.
Yeah, I think Murabe has clearly shown that, particularly on the interview that he had as well on social media, talking about it, and even Lloyd Mablanyo. I mean, who gave him that nickname? Who gave him Mablanyo? Guys, do you know who's Mablanyo? But anyway. He also spoke about how difficult it is to be coaching in that Dynamos setup. But let's talk about the prospects. Simba Bhora coming into, the Premier Soccer League is fast turning into more like what we see in the Premier League. Individually owned teams that are backed with big money and ultimately going forward. So, I mean, let's count them. At the moment, we've got the likes of Caps United, they're individually owned. We've got the likes of, Simba Bhora, they're individually owned. We've got others that will be coming from various regions as well that are individually owned, that will be coming in and plugging into this. What perspectives can we take from Zimbabwean football, seeing how successful it has been for individually owned teams?
I think the individually owned teams, they are well run, considering that there aren't power struggles in the boardroom. You know, there is one center of power, that is whoever owns the team. I think that also
that's the reason why there's no power struggle.
There's no power struggle, and there aren't factions. You know that so and so owns this team, and what he wants is not just there to to play politics. Is there for his team to do well. So that also helps the club. Unlike, there are some boardroom squabbles at Dynamos. We all know that. And, that affects also the players when it comes to their performance on the field of play. So I think that we really need to start awarding. I mean, ZIFA and PSL, they should now start awarding, slots for individuals, so for individuals to own teams, because we've seen that not just in the Premier League but also in the Division 1.
Yeah, most definitely. So Dynamos, Islanders, Caps United, Marinzo. Chimbosiana in the community. But I think maybe for Islanders, they can still stick to their community because their community has bailed them out on a number of times when
It's very united.
It's very united when fines have been laid upon the club. Even fans have come through and paid off those fines to ensure that the club continues to play along. So that is what's happening with the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. But let's quickly go over to Northern Region Soccer League football. 3 points awarded to Scotland over that abandoned game at Karoyi United. So, Anzi, atite zvekutamba tinoita zvekupwanya pwanya, and so of course Scotland FC effectively are going to be in the Premier Soccer League next year, because right now they are now leading by 2 points. One more game that's left. Even if Moors is to win by 25 goals to nil, all Moors has to do is to avoid defeat by ensuring. In fact, they just have to win, because if they draw, then maybe goal difference might become a challenge. But all they have to do right now is just win.
Yeah, I mean, look, like what we've been talking about this, these individually owned teams, they don't know, they waste no time. I think Scotland, credit to them, you were not happy with the way that, they were playing, but at the end of the day, it's all about winning, taking the maximum points, and now we're also looking forward to see them, how they're going to perform in the Premier League come next season. But at the end of the day, I believe that they are going to become, a team, a force to reckon with, considering that, money is there. So with money, you understand. We never know. The PSL player of the year, he might move to Scotland FC. You never know what's going to happen.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right, Brian. Before we quickly move away from this one, let's come back to the admin side, whether it's Northern Region Soccer League, Premier Soccer League, the decision making around awarding of 3 points, whether it was a violence interrupted game, whether it was players who walked off the pitch, has been quite appalling for the last 2 seasons. Northern Region, I believe it was the Eastern Region, where we had the Bikita Minerals, Tenax FC issue.
It was last season.
As to who was going to be promoted over a particular game that was supposed to be awarded 3 points. It took almost 4 months to make that decision. And almost similarly so for this particular one, it took almost 2 months.
2 months
to decide on this one. Quite appalling.
It's quite appalling, and it raises a lot of red flags on how we're administering as the game, especially when it comes to Division 1 football, because such decisions should not take more than a week to make. Within a week you should be, but it seems now, so now when the decision is made, we don't even know, was it really genuine or it was influenced, or there was some hidden hand now. It becomes sketchy.
And look, the decision was quite clear, even when that game was abandoned on the day, that Karoyi United was the one which was ultimately guilty of ensuring that that game was abandoned. So Scotland, yes, deserved the 3 points, but we need to make decisions on time to avert these doubts that Brian is talking about.
Look, what we just need to do is to try to copy from what these big Premier Leagues, how they conduct their businesses. Understand that if it's in the English Premier League, a fine, and obviously the points will be deducted. So I think that should be a no-brainer when it comes to these things. There should just be a template for that. However, to us, there's so much consultation, there's so much bureaucracy that comes with it, but that should be a no-brainer. We should just have a template. If you abandon a game, you'll be fined, and 3 points will be awarded to such and such a team.
And we move along.
And then we move along. And this thing of us taking 4 months to make just a simple decision, I mean, it shows that, we don't have a template and we don't have a structure when it comes to these things.